Target 6.3. By 2030, improve water quality by reducing pollution, eliminating dumping and minimizing release of hazardous chemicals and materials, halving the proportion of untreated wastewater and substantially increasing recycling and safe reuse globally. So the indicator for this 6.3.1 is the proportion of domestic and industrial wastewater flows safely treated. Significant quantities of industrial and domestic wastewater are discharged without safe treatment, but large gaps in monitoring and reporting result in an unclear picture of the global wastewater sector. In 2015, which has the highest data coverage for wastewater treatment and generation over the last decade, 42 countries reported on both total volume of wastewater generated and the total amount of wastewater treated. Accordingly, 32% of the total wastewater generated in 2015 by these countries represented 18% of global population in 2015 that received at least some treatment. Far fewer countries reported the volumes of industrial wastewater generated and treated, leading to a treatment rate of 30%. The proportion of total and industrial wastewater flows receiving any treatment are also similar to the proportion of flows safely treated, which are based on lower data coverage. Households from 140 countries and territories, representing 89% of the global population, were estimated to generate 267,740 million metric cubic meters of household wastewater in 2022. Of this, 154,895 million cubic meters was safely treated. An estimated 57% of all household wastewater was collected at centralized wastewater treatment plants, while another 24% was collected in septic tanks for on-site storage before treatment and disposal. Of the total volume of household wastewater diverted to wastewater treatment plants and septic tanks, approximately 87% was safely treated. The global wastewater sector would stand to benefit most from improved wastewater collection coverage and more rigorous national level monitoring and reporting programs in most regions. Finally, direct discharges from sewers may be significantly underreported, as these are not commonly measured and/or may be more prevalent among the 92 countries and territories where safely treated household wastewater could not be estimated due to a lack of data. The second indicator in Goal 6.3 is Indicator 6.3.2, proportion of bodies of water with good ambient water quality. There is information on over 76,000 water bodies, but over 3/4 of them were in 24 high GDP countries. The poorest 20 countries reported on just over 1,000 water bodies. More monitoring needed can be an overused message, but a critically important one when people are using untreated water of unknown quality for drinking and domestic use. Indicator 6.3.2 monitors the proportion of bodies of water with good ambient water quality, which is defined through national and/or subnational water quality standards. Acceleration is needed in all world regions to define water quality standards and ensure that fresh waters are reliably assessed as a prerequisite to inform policy action. In all world regions, many water bodies are still in good condition. 60% of water bodies assessed in 97 countries have good ambient water quality. Protection is easier than restoration, so efforts to protect these water bodies from pollution must be initiated now. The data shows positive trends for countries with robust monitoring systems. 44% of countries reporting in both 2017 and 2020 are on track to improve water quality, which supports the concept that monitoring is a prerequisite for positive management action. At the same time, a lack of water quality data means that over 3 billion people are at risk because the health of their freshwater ecosystems is unknown. Data on water quality from developing countries lack detail, with the indicator calculated using relatively few measurements and without suitable environmental water quality standards. There also is a lack of groundwater data. Only 60% of reporting countries included information about groundwater, which is problematic because groundwater can often represent the largest share of freshwater in a country. Understanding the hydrogeological environment, the pressure on these resources, and how to monitor them effectively is lacking in many countries. Agriculture and untreated wastewater pose two of the greatest threats to environmental water quality globally and release excess nutrients into rivers, lakes, and aquifers, which damage ecosystem functions. Measurements of nitrogen and phosphorus failed to meet their targets more often than the other water quality parameters of the indicator. Acceleration is needed to enhance farming management practices and improve wastewater treatment rates to protect freshwater quality, especially in regions with a high population growth such as Africa. The indicator scores reported were independent of GDP. Whether the majority of water bodies in a country were reported as good or not good quality is unrelated to GDP, with low, middle and high income countries reporting both situations. The drivers of poor water quality are likely to be different in poor and rich countries and therefore will require specific management measures, but action must be taken in all countries.